So today we're going to do something which is a watercolor on a paper napkin. Sometimes I'm in the car and I want to do a sketch, and the only thing that's available to use is a paper napkin. And you can see this is a very, very light sketch. Two things about paper napkins. They are very close to good quality Chinese and Japanese paper in absorption, but they also tear. So I didn't want to poke this paper with my pen while I was sketching Mount Tamalpais, which is a mountain near the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. And painting on a paper napkin can also teach us a lot about moving our brush fairly quickly. And this is whatever paint I happen to have out. I find sometimes when I don't have out the ideal paint or the paint that people talk about in a book, it's actually advantageous because I discover combinations of paint that I didn't know anything about. Okay, this is a light blue, and here we go. Now there's near the crest of the mountain. It's a volcanic mountain and it descends sharply on the east side. Now I don't have any huge idea how this is going to turn out. And you can see how this made a little blob right here. Well, Asian brushwork teaches us a lot about painting quickly so you don't get that effect. But this is a landscape and there's some trees, so I'm going to play fast and loose with that. Okay. And also, feel free to paint with whatever colors you've got. I would say within that, do try when you can do it to get good quality. A painter that I learned a lot from in prior decades prided himself on knowing where to get inexpensive paints. We all thought he did a great job. However, I gave one of his paintings to a friend to put up in their office, which got a lot of morning light. And I didn't see this painting for a while. When I went back, I was quite shocked to see it had faded a great deal. That's the problem with paint that is less expensive. So whenever you can, go for what's more expensive. Not just because it's more expensive, read the labels. Okay, now I'm gonna play around with this sky. Most things that teach us about doing skies emphasize that what's up near what appears to us to be horizon is the darkest. This is a what's called a green shifted blue that I'm using for the sky. The color for the mountain is called a red shifted blue. Okay, I'm continuing to just play around with this. I have no idea if this is going to work out or not. I will at least keep it for the contour of the mountain. Now, the thing that this has going for it, if I can do it, is that there was an oil tanker queued up near where I started this sketch. I was on the freeway. Traffic was absolutely terrible, slow to a crawl. One way you can make a dark brown or black quite quickly is to take a blue and some kind of brick red and mix them together. So I'm going to try to see where this is the prow of the ship, and it went along this way. As you can tell with this particular piece, I am not aiming for verisimilitude. Not aiming to make a photographic image. I don't usually do that anyway. Nothing wrong with doing that. It's just not my cup of tea. I like to see brushwork. Now you can get some idea of the quality of the gray and black you can make with a blue and a brick red. Okay. All right, and we have a foreground, an old technique from landscape painters of the 18th century is to put some kind of warm brownish kind of color in two places in a painting, and one is at the bottom, which is generally some kind of, if you're doing a landscape, something fairly close to you. And the other place to put it is in the background, so I'm going to put just a little bit of it, more or less, where that mountain and water divide. That's not done terribly well. It just gives me an idea. Whoops! And then all kinds of things happen like that. And we recover gracefully, right? Not always, but sometimes. Now, I almost think I want to leave that for now. I may come back to it when it's really dry. Give that water a little texture. You can also, once this is dry, you can take some good quality drawing paper, put a piece on top, a piece underneath, and iron stuff like this with a cool iron. That works out well also. Now I'd like to be bold and brave and daring here and do something that I didn't set out to do, and that is to indicate the bridge that is going across here. And I'm just going to do it. That could mean that the sketch is not going to turn out to be something to keep, but maybe it will. And then we have and that doesn't work very well, does it? So, put some black equivalent on top of it. And for now. Then I'm going to put a little bit more over there. Just putting in a couple of lines one way and another to emphasize something. And that is going to have to dry. I may come back to that on another occasion, and we've got one more to go.